What do you make of so many locals coming here and saying things like the Israeli flag is a genocide flag and swearing at you by name if that's who it was?
What I make of it is what people tell me about it is mostly is that these are bored people. They have nothing to do and they just cling onto something to do so their life will have meaning. I think it's not that the case. I think it's brainwashed and I think it's propaganda against Israel. And there is a major, massive propaganda against Israel coming at you from everywhere, from the media, from the government, from wherever you look at, there is a propaganda against Israel.
Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, reporting to you from inside of Ofra's kitchen. This is the second time I'm bringing you a report about the rise in anti-Semitism the owner of the restaurant, Ofra Sixto, has been experiencing. Now that hate has reached a whole other level with calls to boycott the restaurant, which has affected her business, and also being one of the hundreds of thousands of small businesses expected to pay back a hefty $40,000 emergency loan that was given to them during lockdowns. But here's the thing. While I was here, I was able to capture firsthand some of the hate that Ofra experiences daily. You're not going to want to miss this report, and I'll give a little credit where credit's due. I'll just add that the Vancouver Police Department were very good in how they handled the situation. We're here with Rebel News with Ofra from Ofra's Kitchen. Delicious vegetarian Israeli food. But again, this isn't a great reason why I'm here. I'm frazzled from what you just went through. But thanks for having us back here.
I really appreciate you coming here, Drea, today, and by what power you came at the right time.
That's right. Just as I came here, and we'll start with this and then we'll go back to the reason for the initial interview. Just as I came here, started getting set up, a convoy of anti-Israel protesters went by. Let's show some of that footage. One of the cars driving by, they actually named you. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they
But
said
many
F
people
you,
know.
Ofra. Does that happen often? Or?
Yeah, it happens every day.
Now you say something there after they call you by name, F you, Ofra. You say this is an everyday thing. Tell us a little bit about what you've been experiencing.
So, Drea, dear, this is really something I experience almost every day. People walk in, the restaurant can be having people in, they don't care, they walk in, free Palestine, murderer, you killed 7,000, 10,000. They give me like numbers like from where, babies, and like if I killed anybody. And free Palestine, and isn't this Palestinian food?
They're saying that you're claiming things, stuff like that too. I saw that on one of the complaints you have. Maybe if you want to take a minute reading some of the online messages you get currently, and one of the reasons I wanted to interview is there is a call to boycott Ofra's Kitchen right now, and you're feeling the pain of that while you're looking. Tell us a little bit about what's happened to business since the last time I saw you.
So business declined massively, massively. My bread and butter was this community, the West End community. And I can tell you that 80% of the people who used to come here don't come anymore. And I don't know if it's because they are pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, or anti-Israel, or all of the above, or the fact that my flag is standing there proud, and the pictures of the hostages. Maybe they are scared coming in because everybody's scared of violence, and we know that the other side is extremely violent, and that's what they're scared of.
Well, again, I did see a lot of aggression out there today. We've covered before how you have to put Vaseline onto the hostages on the photos of them, the now still over 100 who are believed to have been there. And it's almost, as we're filming this, it would be the 100th day anniversary, probably by the time you guys see this, of the October 7th Hamas terrorist attack. We saw a lot of hate come at you. But something that we didn't film out of respect to another restaurant owner down the street who says he's Palestinian was sort of an olive branch that was offered. What can you tell the people a little bit about that? He prefers not to be named, but.
That's right. He's one of the owner of the restaurants on the street, and he asked the police to ask me if he can come and speak with me after the convoy had left. And I agreed because I'm all about talking.
She is.
And I really wanted to know what he has to say. And he came with an olive branch, as you call it, and he suggested that he will talk with the people above that organize these convoys. And he said, and you heard him, you will see, within a week or two, you will have 200 people coming here for your delicious falafel. I doubt it.
200 Palestinians.
Palestinians people will come and eat. I doubt it very much, but you told me to be hopeful, and so are the other people who were here, so I'm hopeful.
Yeah. It's a shame he didn't want it captured so you could see a little bit of that, and hopefully it's true. But the meeting wouldn't have happened if we had filmed. So, but one of the things you pointed out in the conversation was, when he's saying all these Palestinians are going to come to support, you said it's not even mostly Palestinians that are out here yelling and saying free Palestine. You said probably 80%. He agreed. And the VPD officer that was also there sort of mediating the situation agreed as well. What do you make of so many locals coming here and saying things like the Israeli flag is a genocide flag and swearing at you by name, if that's who it was?
What I make of it is, what people tell me about it is that these are bored people. They have nothing to do and they just cling onto something to do so their life will have meaning. I think it's not that the case. I think it's brainwashed, and I think it's propaganda against Israel, and there is a major, massive propaganda against Israel coming at you from everywhere, from the media, from the government, from wherever you look at, there is a propaganda against Israel. Even South Africa, the number one apartheid country in the whole world, is taking Israel to international court for genocide. I mean, can you even imagine what that is? I know they will go nowhere, but the fact that they took Israel to court, that gives a right to hate Israel and to say, look, even they went into international court. They must be right what people say about them. It's not right.
Now, another interesting thing that happened during that meeting, like I said, the VPD were there, but we said we'd circle back to the hate you've been receiving. And while this conversation is trying to be had, you received a call. I did film this, but it was one of several calls that you get over and over and over. Let's play a little bit of that.
Here. Police is here, you piece of shit.
Don't ever fuck with these people again. You attacked a Palestinian girl, and we know.
Okay, this is the Vancouver police. You need to stop calling.
So tell us a little bit about what's said on these calls, because it's a bit hard to hear.
It is hard to hear, and I didn't make much of it. I just heard free Palestine, murderer, don't f with us, things like that. And the anger in the voice is even worse than the words themselves, right? And the police, I gave the phone to the police a few times, but they didn't hear and they didn't listen. They just wanted to yell and yell and yell on the phone. And there were 15 phone calls.
Wow. And does that not scare you? I mean, you're a woman here. Sometimes you're working alone. You're getting these calls. You're getting people swearing at you by name as they're driving by. And yet you still go out with the flag. You still have the flag in the front door. How come?
I'm only human, Drea. Sure, I have fear, like every other human. I can't show it. I cannot act on my fear. I cannot be little old lady sitting in the back and doing nothing. I will never do it. While my people suffer in Israel, I cannot be quiet. That's the little bit that I could do.
Now, I'm going to get you to just read one of the examples because I saw many online. And then we're going to talk about why you had to go get a GoFundMe, because it's not just this boycott you're seeing on the screen right now, a call to boycott Ofra's Kitchen. But there's also something tied to the pandemic. Restaurants have been hit so hard from that. And I've reported on this before, but you're one of the approximate 250,000 small businesses that are at risk from shutting down because now they have to pay back the loan they took from the government when, business was hurt so bad from lockdowns. It's called the CEBA loan, the Canadian Emergency Benefit Accounts loan. So let's talk about that a little bit.
This one here is just the most stupidity of all. You are a baby killer. You suffered genocide. You came to Palestine with banner on the ships, said help. The Palestinians showed mercy to you, but you brutally murdered them and stolen their land. You imprisoned and torture minors in your prison. You have shown that you are a cursed people. You guys are not human. So when I read something like this, I know whoever this guy is, Monor, if he's Arab, I'm not sure, because by his name I could say maybe he is, that the misinformation out there, the stupidity that people believe in. Almost every country in the world is occupied. Canada is occupied. America is occupied. Africa is occupied. All of Europe occupied. Israel and Egypt are not occupied. They are given to these people by history. It has always been our country. And when they settled there, coming from Egypt and from Jordan and from all the country who did not want them, they went and they settled in Israel. In 1948, when we got the country when United Nations voted us to have the country, we just came back home.
Being told you're not a human, being targeted out front of your store, and having to pay back that CEBA loan. That's why we've gone ahead and linked that GoFundMe in the description box below in the written article for this report. But people can come here and eat too. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we sign off on this interview?
With all of the hate and having to pay back the CEBA loan, I found my restaurant decline tremendously with the amount of customers I have. Sometimes I have 3-4 customers a day. Today I had 14. It was a good day, but it really isn't. And even though the Jewish community is stepping up and helping, it's not enough. The CEBA loan is due in a few days. Your voice should be heard without your business being hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. We are in Canada. It's supposed to be a free country. Shortly after interviewing Ofra, she received another very sinister threat. The VPD has been made aware of it, but I thought it also appropriate to fill you in about it in this report. Now, due to the vulgar language, I won't be reading it out loud in full, but after promising to make Ofra's life a living hell and calling her a horribly degrading name, it reads, "I suggest you stay out of your shop because we're burning it whether you are inside or not." Additionally, I thought I'd also let you know that after sharing a small clip of some of the hate I witnessed Ofra receiving, I saw some pro-Palestinian protesters sort of justifying such acts against Ofra, often citing an excerpt taken from a longer video that she linked to her Facebook page. In that video, among other things she says, Ofra states that maybe not every Palestinian is a terrorist, but every terrorist is a Palestinian. I reached out to Ofra for further comment on that matter, and she stated that the clip circulating has been taken out of context to frame her as supporting the death of Palestinian babies. Instead, Ofra says the video was to call for her people to be proud of being Jewish, to call for the destruction of Hamas and other terrorists, but never the innocent, and also to express her belief that children are being indoctrinated and taught and pushed to hate Jews and the state of Israel. If you agree that all Canadians should be free to engage in freedom of expression, but that differs from non-Canadians who are in Canada and publicly supporting acts of terrorism, you can take action by signing and sharing our petition at deporthamas.com.